Currently, our application is set up to protect every resource within the system. In order to access any resource, you must have the role_user authority. Now, this is not very common. You don't just go to a website and have to log in to view the home page. We're going to apply some configurations that allow us to customize which resources can be accessed by which principals. We're going to take a look at what we would like to protect within the application and who can access those resources. We're going to create another user, an admin. We're going to give this user another authority, a role_foo. And that's just to demonstrate that these authorities can really be anything you make up. It doesn't need to be role_user. It doesn't need to be role_admin. You can customize to grant access to a particular resource. Now, let's take a look at some things that we want to expose to everyone and some other resources that we want to protect. For example, I would not like everyone to have to log in just to see my homepage. I'm trying to drum up some business here. I want them to see the services I offer. I want only authenticated users to see their appointments and to be able to create appointments. That way I don't have folks coming in and creating false appointments. And then if we look over at our new schedule section, I only want the administrative users or management users to be able to see the employee's schedule. So we need to apply some constraints on these resources. And the way we do that is by establishing new intercept URL tags within our HTTP tag. And that will set up some protection. So first, I'm just going to duplicate the intercept URL tag. And I'm going to first grant access to all of our resources to anonymous users. Now, here is the only role that you really should remember because this role_anonymous is a default for Spring. This says basically allow people who are not authenticated to view this resource. And now what we can do is we can come in and protect the appointments page. Here I am setting up Spring Security to inspect the URL with every request, and if it contains /appointments/ and then possibly anything after that, we want to restrict that access to the role_user authority. So let's restart our application and we will test out this new authority that we have put in place. I'm going to caution you to make sure that you open a new browser session when you do this. If you do not, you'll have an active login with the application and it may not perform as you expect. So simply hit the URL for the app. Now I see our home page without authenticating. Let's go to the appointments page. Wait a second, I thought we protected this. Well, here's an important lesson within the configuration of the security. When Spring sees the protection or the access control being applied to these resources via these patterns, it's going to look at the first one, and if the pattern matches and the authority matches, and it says, okay, we can grant access to this resource, it will not consult the second one. If we change the order of these two intercept URL tags, we will now get the security that we expect. So I'm going to restart the server, and now I'm going to close Firefox, open Firefox. Now I can access the home page without authenticating, but when I go to the appointments page, it's going to request that I authenticate. And now we can view the appointments page. At this point, we're going to go ahead and protect the schedule. We don't want users who can authenticate with the application, basically our customers, to be able to view the employee's schedule. We want to limit this to something like a manager. Let's go back to our configuration. Now add another intercept URL tag, and we want to do this above our role_anonymous access that allows access to every resource. That way we don't fall into that trap where it doesn't consult our next role. And we're just going to protect /schedule/*, and we're going to restrict this to foo authority. So once again, we need to restart the app, then open our browser up. As we expected, anybody can access this homepage. Now I'm going to attempt to log into the schedule, admin, and password. I view the schedule, and then you'll notice that I'm also able to access the appointments because of the way we have established our users and their authorities. We notice that the admin user also has role_user authority, therefore granting them access to the appointments page. So we can configure Spring Security to be more dynamic for how it restricts access to resources. We can allow everybody to see certain resources, certain individuals to see some resources, but we got to really pay attention to how we order the configuration of that access control within our security context.xml file, because if we were to do something like this, we have now just blown our whole security because everything is open to everyone. So we want to make sure we're careful about the order of those tags. And then we also saw that you can give a user multiple authorities. And we were introduced to this role_anonymous authority, which grants access to anyone.